I don't know what to do. Monday morning, I'm heading into work. I haven't run yet today because I woke up this morning and I was really motivated. I woke up and I was thinking about doing like a 2-mile time trial and trying to just get an idea like, hey, where's my fitness at, right? And I woke up, and what I normally do when I first wake up is I look at my Oura Ring app because I like to see, hey, how was my sleep, right? Or it gives you like a daily energy score, and I want to see like, hey, how was my energy? How am I doing today? And what it told me is, and this is, I will say, Oura Ring, it's a waste of money. It's a waste of money. It's a glorified sleep tracker. It's not accurate for heart rate data when it comes to actual exercise. Like, it just doesn't do enough, especially like, it's like $300-400, and then on top of that, there's a $5 monthly subscription, which in my mind, I'm kind of like, hey, if I'm gonna pay $300-400 for something, it better not have a subscription to use the app, but it does. It'd be one thing if it was cheap and then it had a subscription, or if it was expensive and then no subscription. But to have both, a little messed up. Anyway, so yeah, the one thing that I do appreciate, and it's one of the reasons why I still continue to use it, other than just like feeling like I need to try and get the value out of it because it was expensive, is realistically, it tells you if you have like symptoms. It'll say like, hey, you have major symptoms, minor symptoms, or this is what's going on, something's going on with your body. And for me, it's been fairly accurate, so it can kind of predict if I'm sick before I realize it. And one of the things that, so I woke up and I looked at it, just wanted to look at my sleep levels or whatever, and it said minor symptoms. And I looked why, and it said that my temperature had been elevated by, about 0.8 degrees higher than it normally is, right? Where it was like outside of the range or whatever that is normal for my body over the last like year and a half. And I will say it was a long weekend. So Saturday morning had my my long run, and like I was able to hit my paces, but had to kind of lay out on the last mile to get it done. And just like, I just really like, I've always struggled with heat, but 10 times worse this year. And I don't know if that's just because of the vitamin D deficiency, if that's like contributing extra to it. But anyway, that was tiring. And then basically from the time I finished my run, I rinsed off, and then it was go, go, go. I was setting everything up in the backyard in the heat. It was 95 degrees. And I was setting up like the canopies and the bouncy house and the chairs and everything, and carrying everything around. And so I was out there, and then, it's getting everything like running back and forth to the store because we keep forgetting something that we need for the party. And then it's the party, and there's, 10 kids, 10 7-year-olds running around screaming, and, in a bouncy house with water and everything. So you're watching because you're going to want to make sure that everyone's safe and being okay. And then, kids are exhausted, so they're throwing tantrums until going to actual bed. And so then you go to bed and you're just absolutely exhausted. And then the next day, and then that night, my nephew slept over, and they were obviously up. It's little kid sleepovers. They were up really late, being loud, and then they were up early, and then everyone was grumpy because no one slept well. And then we still had the bouncy house. I had a friend stop by, and he has 3 kids, and they were all running around. So it was just, I was exhausted from the weekend, and I'm wondering if that's just all it is, but I am feeling pretty worn down today, pretty tired, despite getting actually like 7.5 hours of sleep. So I'm not, I don't know. I checked my temperature. I don't have a fever. I'm tired, but I think it's just fatigue. So I decided to sleep in. I'm driving into work now, and we'll see how we feel. I still do want to run, and I still do want a time trial this week. It's actually my birthday week, and it's 4th of July week. My wife and I are going to run a 10K together on the 4th of July. I was considering maybe trying to summit a mountain for my birthday this weekend. And then, wanted to, time trial, but my work week is crazy because we're trying to fit everything in. We've got some deadlines that we're trying to get done for both a sales and recruiting standpoint. So anyways, I'm tired. I'm probably just tired, but I'm hoping that that's all it is. And, we can get a couple miles in later today, feel good, and then, not be sick this week, because my health has just not been great for the last month, and I'm ready to be done with that. All right, so I just did a quick 3 miles just because I wanted to move, but I'm incredibly tired today. I'm not sure if it was just a very tiring weekend or what, but I'm feeling it. So I'm just gonna, move the body a little bit, cut it short, not gonna lift anything like that today, and hope that tomorrow feels better. It's supposed to be a deload week anyway, and I'm leaning towards maybe not going all out on a time trial this week, given how I feel today. If I wake up tomorrow feeling good though, I may still go to the track and do a couple 400s, see how that feels. And then if it's good, then full send for a 2-mile time trial or something. But, given that I've just barely started feeling good, just barely started supplementing vitamin D, don't want to push it too much. So we're going just a little over 3 miles today, calling it good. Testing out though the new Aeroblaze 3. I'm not sure when these release from Salomon, but the Aeroglide, super, super awesome daily trainer. You could maybe call it a max cushion shoe, but I think it's more of a daily trainer. And this is kind of the lightweight counterpart, just over 8 ounces from my understanding. So I'm pretty happy with it. Again, just really, really quick run. I didn't get a whole lot of feedback or info from it. I will say just right off the bat, this isn't Contra Grip. I thought it was Contra Grip. It's the same grip pattern, but it's a different rubber. And this rubber does feel a little bit slick. So, or no, maybe it is still Contra Grip. This feels slicker though than the Aeroglide 3. Not sure if it's a different material, but it feels different, at least on the treadmill. So we'll get obviously plenty of miles on foot outside, but just wanted to break them in, or not break them in, but get a few quick miles on them. So all in all, it's the last day of the month, last day of the quarter, last day of the fiscal year for my company. So I'm going to hop back on my computer, going to be working until everything's through for my team. Just wanted to get a quick run in. So let's go get it. Tuesday morning. Ironically, I feel more tired today than I do yesterday. I don't know if the vitamin D is just not working, but I am really struggling this morning. So yeah, I don't feel sick. I'm just tired. So I'm gonna take my pre-workout and get out there and try and hit paces and see what happens. I'm gonna try and do a 2-mile time trial, and ideally I would love to hit 6:05 to 6:10 pace on the time trial. That sounds crazy daunting. So but we're gonna go out and see how the body responds and then go from there. Well, warm up done. I'm not feeling it today. But that doesn't mean I can't have a good workout. So we're gonna try. I might end up splitting this into 2-mile repeats and just getting that speed. But I wanna see if I can at least hit 1 mile at 6:05 and still have something in the take. So we'll see. But I do feel off. Freak! I am so at a loss. I can't keep doing this, guys. I mean, I know it's only been a week. Like, I get that. It's only been a week since I was diagnosed, supplemented, but it's just a really hard freaking pill to swallow. At a pace like this shouldn't feel easy, but like 6:10 pace for 2 miles should be so doable. So doable. I just don't know what to do. Gotta be patient, I guess. Gotta be patient. I called it. I don't know. I hit like a couple of, not strides, like longer than strides. I don't know. Not even 400s, like 200, 300s, just to try and get turnover. I don't know what's going on. I am at a loss. I don't know if I should go back to the doctor. Is it in my head? Is it mental? Maybe it's mental. Maybe I've just got like a mental block. But I don't know what to do. Friday morning. It's the 4th of July, which is also my birthday. Kind of ironic. I was born in Japan, but was born on the 4th of July. So I am about to go to a local 10K. My wife and I do our best to run together, or we make it a priority to run together one time a year. It's just hard. I mean, we would love to run it with each other more. With the kids, it can be tough. So on my birthday, though, that's kind of part of my birthday festivities that we do, at least that we've started doing recently, which is that we go for a run together. And on the 4th of July, oftentimes there's a lot of local events, and so there's a local 10K, and that's what we're gonna do. So pretty excited to go. Obviously, we've got our red, white, and blue fit. Yeah, my health has not been great. I've been basically, like, if not for the fact that I had a family to provide for, if I'm being honest, like, I probably would have been in bed for the whole week. Just was not feeling good. Physically just absolutely drained. And just, not really sure what's going on with my health. Obviously, you could see, I think it was after my workout on Tuesday, I was pretty upset. And I'm still upset with it, but I woke up today and I'm feeling decent today, so I'm happy with that. Gotta take the wins when we get them, and we're just gonna go out, run together, have some fun, and hopefully just continue to build those vitamin D levels back up. And I may end up putting formal training on a pause, with kind of a priority of just normal health and working towards Tokyo, because that's going to be a big one. The overarching goal has always been sub 3. We've just decided to kind of hit benchmarks along the way, because I thought it would be a fun way to train and would get me more fit. And yeah, but if the health is compromised right now, then I'm not going to go and push myself and really try and get that 5K. It's just about moving the body, eating healthy, getting to a really good spot. So we'll see. I'm gonna follow up with my doctor here in another probably week if I don't feel like there's any improvements, and we'll go from there. Now, for a short 10K, I normally probably wouldn't bring any fuel or water, but since I'm running it with my wife, just so she doesn't have to carry anything, just in case, I'm gonna carry 2 flasks or 2 water bottles on my belt. So I'll just have a belt with me. I'm gonna do 1 water, 1 electrolyte, and then I'll carry a few gels, just again, so that we have something just in case. But I think the goal should be around an hour and 10 minutes. She's going for, I think, around 12-minute miles, and so we really shouldn't necessarily need gels, but just in case. So yeah, let's get moving. Saturday morning. It's obviously been a rough week running wise, right? Well aware of that, but despite getting a pretty rough night's sleep last night, we're feeling pretty good this morning just compared to where I've been, right? To give you an idea, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when I woke up, like I didn't feel functional. I got all 3 of those nights, got like 7 hours plus of sleep and just absolutely exhausted. Woke up, just no interest in doing anything, but tried to stick to the routine. Was feeling just like physical symptoms of fatigue, like physical just burnout. And, even when I warmed up and all that and got going, it just wasn't there. So, it was clear that I was having a rough time early in the week. Now, yesterday though, we ran that local 10K, which was a blast. It was a lot of fun. It was cool. So my wife, she likes to run, but she doesn't really run for performance necessarily, right? She doesn't really care like how long it takes her. Like she wants to get faster generally, but I think more than that, she wants to be able to run further and not have it feel like death. It's kind of like the idea, right? So for her, it's, I would love to run the 10K. I don't care if I can run it super fast or not, but I want to be able to do it and feel very capable, feel very strong, not get injured, right? Every time that she's trained for a half marathon, she tends to overdo it a little bit. So she's kind of sticking on the 10K distance right now. And, yesterday she crushed it. We stuck together the whole time. And for literally just the first 5 miles, we just were relaxing. We were talking, just watching the crowds and, like it was kind of like just a nice stroll. And then the last mile, I kind of was like, hey, you can probably break an hour. Like you can be under an hour if you want to try and push this last little bit. So she ended up saying okay, and we ended up pushing for the last mile, and she did great. It was a really good time, and I felt good. It felt good to be outside. So now today, the kids had a rough night last night because it was 4th of July, and so fireworks, they got to bed really, really late. They just struggled during the night. I don't know if it was too much sugar during the day. We had a lot of treats, different things. So last night was a little bit rough. So I'm going to just hop on the treadmill and see if I can get, 6 to 8 miles in. I would feel real good about that. And, that caps off a half decent week at the end of the day if I'm able to do that, to be honest. And just I just treat it like a deload week. So, not what I wanted for the week, not where I want my training to be, but health comes first, right? I need to make sure that the body's okay. So that's what we're doing. Anyway, let's get moving. All right, just finished up 7-ish on the treadmill. Just went real easy. Started with like 11-minute miles, cut down to like 10, 9:30, or 9:40, 9:30, and then finished last one like probably just under 8-minute pace, maybe 8 average, but I kind of cut down throughout that last mile. Overall, felt really good. The heart rate was chilling, was just hovering around like 135 to 140 for the large majority. And then the heart rate did climb. So when I was hitting like when I cut down to like 730, my heart rate was sub threshold though, which should have been. So it was like in the low 170 range, like 173, 174, which my threshold is up in like the 178 range. So overall, like this run couldn't have gone better. Legs felt smooth. Really, really happy with that. I usually on a deload where I'm normally like 50 plus miles a week right now. And then so on a deload, like 35 is around where I feel pretty good. I only ended up getting 25 in and didn't run on Wednesday and Thursday at all, or I at least didn't run Wednesday. Thursday, I might've done an afternoon run now that I think about it, but just a short one. So overall, like really happy with how the body felt. Anyway, there's the mileage for the week. Just again, quick plug. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my training. I'm gonna talk to my former running coach, who I worked with for years, and I'm just gonna kind of run it. I need a second opinion. I feel like, my base building was doing 60 miles a week, like 10-ish hours of running a week. And I was tired, but like felt really good. Was able to hit paces, like crushed workouts. I didn't touch speed probably as much as I should have, but because I was doing such intensity, it didn't make sense for me to like really lay out, right? I wanted to prioritize volume. Coming back, the fast paces really shocked the body, and I wonder if I just, maybe I should have been closer to 55 miles a week and then like included speed work, like true speed work every other week. Maybe that would have helped so that the paces wouldn't have been as big of a shock. But then I just hit this health issue, this, just my vitamin D has completely tanked. I don't know if that's the sole reason I feel like how I feel. I have some suspicion that maybe my caffeine intake has been a little bit too high and I need to reduce that. So I'm working on reducing that. I also am wondering if my kidneys are fully clearing out waste product and filtering stuff, especially with how my body has been reacting to heat, right? The kidneys are really important to, heat acclimation and heat function. So that, just really kind of a weird situation. Obviously not happy with it, but, happy that I even got to run 25 miles a week or 25 miles this week, right? Back when I first started running, that would have been a massive week, right? And now it's like, less than half of what I usually do. And I know like it's all relative, right? So like just got to be happy with where I'm at, and happy that I'm able to move, because it could be worse, right? So, worst comes to worse, I'll work on general fitness, maybe work on my body composition, right? Not that I need to lose weight or anything necessarily, but I think that carrying less body fat is healthier for the most part, right? And for the running, it's just less impact for me to have to carry. So I might focus on, and to be clear, like it's not just the composition, but it's also just prioritizing, like making sure, like as someone who has vitamin deficient, right? Runners are super susceptible to things like iron deficiencies, all that. So just making sure I'm eating more nutrient dense diet overall. And then, working on some of the different tweaks, working on being a little bit more dynamic, a little quicker on my feet, focus on some plyometrics, different things, because I am a heavy-footed athlete. I am a heavy-footed runner. Growing up playing basketball, I've always been a 2-foot jumper, right? So I can really explode off of 2 feet. I was never someone who could pop off the ground on 1, right? So just making myself a little bit more nimble, I think is going to be helpful. But so we'll see. Tokyo will be the priority though, the sub 3 hour marathon. And depending on how things go, maybe just making sure that I'm healthy and able to run that marathon are gonna be the priorities. So we'll get Tokyo done. With that in mind, please consider donating through the thanks button below. Any amount helps. Quick update, we finished June with just over $500 of revenue generated on the channel. I believe that includes both donations as well as views. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe. So we're a little over 500, maybe 600, right? With kind of all in on YouTube. So that's gonna be going towards charity. Again, I'm donating June, July, August, all the money generated through YouTube, as well as commissions through the affiliate links that you can find in the description. So if you want some half tights, right? You've been looking at Wallaco, you've been wanting to try them. They are my favorite half tights as of right now. I am planning on wearing them for basically any race that I do. And then if you need fuel, like if you're a runner, if you're watching this, chances are you take running gels, right? One of my favorites, Precision Gel, Precision Fuel, 30 grams of carbs per gel. I like the taste. It's not as like Jello-like Martin, but it is a little bit, thinner, not as thick as like a goo, right? I like the taste too. It's subtle, but I think it does taste good. So try these out. These are my favorite right now. And if you use the affiliate link below, that it will generate any commissions, again, which June, July, August, those are all going towards charity. So, let me know in the comments what you guys liked, what you guys enjoyed. about this week, what I could be doing more of. I'm not a filmmaker. I would love to make these a little bit higher production quality. I'm filming this one on my phone right now, but I also sometimes use the Osmo Pocket. And I enjoy making these videos. I enjoy being able to reflect on my own training and share things with you guys. But let me know what you guys think. And yeah, hope you guys had a wonderful 4th and have a good week.